A very good evening to you and welcome to Real Talk Live on SABC 3. Well, that was the jam that landed her straight on the house music map. And it went on to become one of South Africa's most loved female house power anthems. She was the first South African female DJ to release a house compilation. It's the one and only Zinhle, known to many of us as DJ Zinhle or Muhle. She was born and bred in Danhauser, KZN, and it was her brother Zakhele who introduced her into the world of DJing back in 2009. It was on Jiga Majiga as a resident DJ where she worked her way up to becoming a household name. Now, she's one of South Africa's most booked and busiest DJs. She's a fashionista of note, an entrepreneur, and all-round incredible woman. Watching her, you know that she is driven, she is poised, and she's unapologetically happy. So join me in welcoming to Real Talk, DJ Zinhle. How are you?
I'm nervous. You're
nervous?
Yeah, totally. Like,
why would you be nervous?
Because I'm like, who are you talking about? Who are you talking about?
You're celebrating a decade in the industry.
Yeah, over a decade, yeah.
What goes through your mind when you see that song?
I mean, that song was my first big song. And I don't know, I can't even tell you what goes through my mind. It was just like a big moment for me, repeatedly, you know. Just hearing people sing your song to this day is a lot for me. So that for me, yeah. I saw you were laughing at me when you saw my makeup there. I said, okay.
And you gave me a side eye. The transformation.
I see you there. Yeah.
Well, still as gorgeous as ever. You know you inspire many of us. There's still so much to talk about for today's show. One of them being the book.
Yes.
But before we get to that, I want us to reflect a little bit. Sunday was Father's Day.
Yeah.
And there was a really lovely moment, a warm moment, where you sent out a tweet.
Yeah.
It was an Instagram post, in fact, where you said,
Both.
I hope you feel as special every other day of the year as you do today.
Yeah.
Happy Father's Day to the best dad, the coolest dad, but also the strictest dad.
Yeah.
And you tagged the father to your daughter, and
Yeah.
that is rapper AKA. And you went on to say, glad to be doing this with you. Cairo is the luckiest girl.
She is. She's
You guys
really,
seem to be in a good space.
No, we are in a good space. It took a lot of work, and we're still working on it, but we're in a very good space. I mean, despite everything else, I think parenting is just a tricky thing to figure out. We are different in a lot of ways. He's very strict. I bend quickly.
That's the thing that surprises me.
Yeah.
I would have thought that you were the disciplinarian, and he would be the fun person.
No, this is the thing. He's the fun person, but he can switch it up so quickly. And I try to be strict, but it just breaks so quickly. And she knows how to do it now. She knows
your
how
buttons.
Yeah. So now I try and use I'm going to tell your dad about this. And she's like, okay, I'm also going to tell my dad. I'm like, oh, okay. So, yeah, but he's really a cool dad. He's a cool dad, but he's very strict.
But you know, whenever that happens, after he sent you the Mother's Day wish, and then now you sending him the Father's Day wish, people are like, come on, guys, just get back together.
Yeah, I think
would you?
If there's one thing South Africans are not short of is hope. that we know for sure. But I mean, we had this conversation, me and him, recently, and we just decided, let's start a new conversation about co-parenting. Let's start a positive conversation about co-parenting. Let's let people look at us and think it's actually possible to do this co-parenting thing and get along. And it's now something that we're working towards, and we just want to get along and be there for each other. And we don't want to be we don't want to rob Cairo of moments just because we are not together as a couple. We want her to experience as much of family moments as possible. So that's where we are now.
And co-parenting, I mean, I've been there. I've been there, married, divorced. When you have a child with someone, you literally are picking that person that you would be co-parenting with for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And it doesn't come easy because it has its phases.
It does.
It has its winters, its summer. So when did this decision come about? When was it clear that this is how you're going to move forward?
I can't say that it's always been a thing for us, but recently when we realized that it was just much better for us when we get along, we had this conversation and he was on the same page and I said, listen, we need to set a better example for people. And I was happy to, just for me personally, I like getting along better than fighting.
So but it takes just empathy, doesn't it?
It does.
And a lot of communication.
Does. But also, Cairo is a very special child and she deserves both of our attention fully and she doesn't deserve anything else other than our love. So for us to just be focusing on the differences that we might have with each other makes no sense when you have something so special to take care of. So that's where we are right now. We're still making it work. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. He's stubborn, I'm stubborn, but we'll get there.
No, I think you're leading by example, no doubt about that. But how's motherhood been?
Oh, motherhood is insane. It is crazy. Time flies. I've always heard people saying, oh my God, they grow up so fast. And I thought, what are you talking about? You just being extra. But they do. And I could never say I'm lonely. I don't like sleeping in the same bed as her because she cannot, like she's a nightmare to be in the same bed with. But she's just an amazing child. Her perspective on life, how she views things, how she enjoys life.
I was watching
totally
her
incredible.
downstairs.
Yeah.
Because she's here and there she is singing and playing all by herself, enjoying her own company.
Her own company. This is the thing about Cairo. She doesn't worry about everyone else. If she's entertained, she's fine. She's got her own low way of looking at things that is special. We're laughing at her now because there were biscuits that had like a low cherry thing on top. And she's like, no, I just want the sweetie on top. I don't want the biscuits. So she's very cute. It's been such a fulfilling thing. And I think I normally feel like I don't deserve it because it's so incredible. But I'm so glad that I was chosen to be her
mother. That is absolutely beautiful. And the thing is, when it comes to being a mother, there's so much that keeps you up at night. There's so much that worries you about your desires, the things you want for your child in this world that is highly critical, very competitive. I follow her on Instagram. And I was quite curious about why you decided to put her life out in such a public way.
I can't say there was like I had been so nervous about getting her out there that it was starting to cripple me because I just thought, what if this happens? What if she gets this? You know, I started to think about a lot of things that could happen and I was just thinking, okay, this fear is getting too much. So I woke up one day and I just thought, let me create a profile, and it's been private, but now at least I don't have to worry about all the other things. I think it was also a way for me to get over my fears because I was worrying about a lot of things. My nanny had been attacked though. The one time when she was with the baby because they wanted to take a picture and she refused. So all these things, you know, as a mom, you think about these things, you know, you think about, should I put a leash on her when I'm at the shopping center? So I just didn't want the fear to cripple me anymore. So I thought, okay, let me just see where it goes. And it seems like it's brought a lot of joy to other people's lives. So that's okay.
Well, you know, when you say that she's a special child, it just translates in the pictures when you watch your timeline.
Yeah, and she asks for the pictures. They don't just happen. She's like, Mama, take a picture and let me see. Let me see.
Needs my approval.
Sometimes I show her the old pictures because I don't necessarily take pictures all the time when she asks. So I'll just show an old picture. She's like, okay, thank you.
Do you wonder how she would feel about that one day? About the fact that her life has been put out in the fashion that it is when she didn't really have a choice.
I hope she can, I hope she'll grow up to understand just the life that she was born into generally, with her dad being someone who's also popular. And I hope I'll raise her to be a strong enough woman to manage whatever her life has become. And I'm hoping that we're not making it difficult for her also. But I know she'll be fine. I pray she'll be fine. I pray for it every day. Yeah.
You know, in this book, which has been gripping me for the past week, and we'll break it down a little bit later on, just some of the things that you touch on. In the opening, you actually talk about the women who the book is dedicated to, your daughters, together with your co-author, but also you reflect on your mothers, you know, the role that they've played. So what are some of the lessons you, as a mother, that you have learned from being your mother's daughter? Because even that relationship comes with its own complexities.
I think the biggest thing my mother taught me is respect and consideration for other people. But I feel like the reason I'm such an independent woman is because of my mom. And those are the kind of things that I want to pass on to Cairo. I take her to the office now. She goes to the office every other day, so she'll understand the value of work. I'll teach her all those things. So my mom taught me to be very independent from a very young age. She wouldn't let me accept gifts that I didn't work for. So those are the kind of things that I want to teach Cairo so that she can stand up on her own.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And it's quite a thing in itself, you know, this lineage from one generation to the next.
Yeah.
And then she has this Glammy.
Yes, a beautiful grandmother, yes. Yeah, Glammy is exactly like Daddy. She's got her sweet moments, but she can also be very strict. But she, like any other grandmother, and also like my mother, she lets her get away with a lot of things actually.
That's what grandmothers do.
Yeah, that's what grandmothers do. And the thing, Cairo, you tell Cairo, don't tell mommy about this. And the first thing she'll tell me when she walks through the door is, Glammy gave me Fanta, or Glammy gave me sweets, or Daddy gave me sweets. So I always find out about these things. They try to hide them from me, but it's not working out because she's 3. She doesn't understand the idea behind secrets and things.
Any more kids on the cards?
Yes.
More?
Yeah.
How many?
1.
One more?
Yeah.
One more. All right. Well, DJ Zinhle, together with leadership coach Mbanga, have written a self-help book on women empowerment called Meeting Your Power. Now, if you're currently dealing with a dilemma in your life, getting in the way of your own personal empowerment, the ladies are here to help you. So send us a 20-second WhatsApp voice note, and they will do their best to share their advice, and we'll do that after the break. Stay there.
Well, look at you. You are now officially a published author. Wow, how amazing is that? Congratulations. I'm so proud of you and very excited for you because I know you've been working on this and so many other projects for a long time. And it's finally happening. So I cannot wait to get my hands on a signed copy, of course, to read it from back to front, because I'm sure it's filled with wisdom and inspiration from which so many people will be able to draw. So well done once again. You are loved and adored, and you are just such a special human being. So all the best for this and every other project.
2017 was the year they met while shooting a reality TV show called It Takes a Village. It was an instant connection between these two remarkable women who've both experienced life's ups and downs with lessons they see through sharing an inspirational read centered around empowering women. Both with their own authentic story to share, DJ Zinhle is my guest. We now also welcome to the stage leadership coach and co-author of their new book, Meeting Your Power, Mbanga. Guys, listen, for your chance to get your hands on one of 2 copies we're giving away this evening, simply tell us the title of the book and head onto our Twitter handle. It's at Real Talk on 3, and that's your chance to win. Mbanga, welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome to Real Talk.
Thank
I was
you.
complimenting Zinhle earlier on. I think this is a fantastic book. So let's look at how this collaboration came about, because It Takes a Village was an incredibly empowering show, which you were both a part of.
It started with a call from production company phoning me to ask if I'll be interested to work with DJ Zinhle. And it was about women empowerment. And of course, my answer was obvious. Women empowerment, DJ Zinhle, having seen her website, how much she is interested in women empowerment. So that's how the relationship started.
So Zinhle, what attracted you to Mbonga's way of thinking and how she was guiding these young people?
Well, I mean, when we first started, it wasn't my choice that we were together. They sort of said, oh, well, she's here, you have to work with her. But we connected instantly. The first day we met, we sat and we spoke. And I think also as an adult person that I am now, when you meet people, you always worry about the kind of conversations that they're going to have with you, because you don't want the fickle stuff about gossip. But when we said, it was me, her, and our makeup artist, Audrey, we instantly started talking about grown-up stuff that made so much sense, and I was so excited. You know, when you meet someone that is just like,
Who gets you.
Yeah, who
Knows
gets
exactly
you. I was
what you're
so
talking
excited.
about.
Yeah, so I loved it from the first day I met her.
So Mbonga, you say that coaching actually found you. It's not something that you necessarily chose. How did it happen?
I studied clothing management, so my plan was fashion buying and stuff like that. And it found me in the sense that one of my majors was human resources management. So I started in working in talent development, and it evolved from being frontline to behind the scenes, where you identify how you develop people. And from that, I started having interest in terms of how behaviors get us to where we need to be with our lives. So it evolved from that to a friend of mine saying, wouldn't you want to have a group of women and have a conversations about what you talk about? And I thought, please, is there a need for that? Does someone do that and get paid? And then I think when I was working for one of the multinets, I started to hear about coaching, what it does, what its purpose is, and then that's how I started getting involved in coaching.
The two of you get really personal in the book. You know, I think we all have these voices, these nagging voices that we grow up with, that we give into, that we start to believe. And you both share certain things that you were told growing up. So, Zinhle, let's be out with it. You say that...
I can't even lie to you because you read the book.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you grew up being told that you're lazy.
Lazy.
I can't believe that, looking at the driven woman that you are today.
I also can't believe it because I totally believed that I was not going to be anything amazing because I was told so many times that I was lazy. And I think also it comes from me being the younger sister. I mean, there are a lot of things that I still can't do, like cook or clean properly. Because I always had an older sister, Ukuku, who took care of everything, who still does take care of a lot of things right now. But I grew up believing that I will never amount to anything because I was told all the time, which when and I was told, oh, no one's going to marry you. And these were things that I worried about so much when I was growing up as a child. Who's going to love me and how am I going to get a job? What am I going to do when I grow up? And it really used to be a big worry for me as a child.
I've read interviews where you've said that you don't even want to get married. Do you think it's influenced that in a way?
No. I mean, I was raised by both parents in a happily married home, but I was just like, I've just never had, I'm too independent. And I enjoy my space. I can't imagine sharing my house or my space with someone else. I just think about like having to wake up and play my music loud, and then someone's like, no, I'm still sleeping. I'm like, okay, sorry, I'll wait for you to wake up. I've just never had the passion for it. I've just never had visions of me getting married.
A desire for
But also, this is another thing, it could be a fear because I remember, a quick story, my mother went to a wedding, and you know when they do the dance? So when we were growing up, the popular thing was to do like a tango of some sort. So I asked my mom, I said, when you get married, you have to do this thing. She said, yes. I said, I'll never get married then because I don't know how to do this thing.
Yeah.
So you'll never know.
Maybe, because of course these things inform our views later on. So that was the negative thing that you were told. But then there's also a lot of positive things that you were told, like you are beautiful.
Yeah.
But you talk about how we're so quick to abandon the positive messages that we get, and we actually hold on to the negative things.
And it's such a bad habit because even when you introduced me, I said to you, what are you talking about? Because it's so hard to, we're still learning, even I'm still learning that habit of accepting all the good things that people say about me. It's so hard to listen to someone say positive things about you, almost cringe sometimes. You're like, okay, Azania, stop. It's a lot now. But when people say negative things about you, it's like, okay, this feels a bit normal. Which is very bad.
Yes, it is. It is. And Obonga, even your own, the taunting that you got as a child, people would tease you about your ears, your chin. You take it there. You talk quite personally about the impact that had.
Yeah, it was rough growing up and having to think about who am I really, and having to look in the mirror and see this imperfection. Of course, you don't see a ghost chin, but you see that you're not normal. You look at your legs and you're like, maybe I should hide and wear long stuff because they seem not to fit into what society requires of a normal body. So it's a very daunting process to go through.
Yeah. So we'll get into the details of how you overcame these things because that's really what the book also encapsulates. We've invited our listeners, of course, to participate, to ask whatever question they may have because that's what this book is about, meeting your power, returning home to yourself. So let's take a listen to this voice note.
Hi, Azania. Hi, DJ Zinhle. This is HuaweiZA speaking from Johannesburg. Absolutely loving this interview. My question is for Zinhle. I just want to know, how do you begin to forgive somebody who has wronged you? How do you get to that process?
we don't laugh. We speak about this all the time. This is why we laugh about it. But and this is not the first time I'm hearing this question. And I think forgiveness it needs to start with you. Yeah. You need to forgive yourself first for whatever you think whatever your part was in whatever happened in your life. And also you need to also forgive people without them asking for an apology, so that you can move on into a better space. I think we are raised to hold on to grudges, and we don't realize how harmful they are to us, to our progress. So we normally get like emails from girls that say, it's been 5 years and I still can't forgive him. It's as if it's about, forgiveness is about the next person. It's not. Yeah. Forgiveness is about you, your progress, your own healing. It's not about the next person. What if the person that's supposed to ask for supposed to apologize to you died the next day? Are you going to hold on to it forever?
Yes, or they withhold it forever? Does that keep your life ransom?
So forgiveness is not about the next person at all. Forgiveness is just a decision that you make for yourself so that you can move on with your life.
Yeah, and I think you've exemplified that very well, because things that have hurt you in the past have played out in the public space, and the grace with which you've handled them demonstrates this very approach.
And it's a survival thing. It's just realizing what works for you. What works for me is just letting go of everything and learning from whatever mistakes were made and just moving on. And I always tell people this morning, I've had these conversations, forgiveness is a gift you give to yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you have formed, and I suspect through this book, you're forming a tribe of women. A tribe of women that are empowered. So let's hear from one of the members of your tribe, Zinhle, Pearl Tusi.
Hey guys, so, hey girl. I just FaceTimed you for 2 hours and now I have to be like, oh, you're so amazing after all the trash you were talking about. But I know deep down in there's a good person, babes. I love you so much. You're an incredible woman who's made such a big difference in my life. I've learned so much from you. I'm so proud of you. I'm so excited about this book. You have so many pearls of wisdom. One that actually walks and has eyes, and so much to offer the world. You're an incredible mom. You're an incredible person. You're an incredible role model. And I can't wait for all the stuff I'm still going to learn from you. Thank you so much for being a part of my life. It means so much for me. And thank you for supporting me and never judging me and loving me so unconditionally and taking care of me. It's been a pleasure doing as much as I can do for you too.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Should we break out the tissues?
Yeah, we need to.
So heartfelt. What does that friendship mean to you?
It means everything, and that's Pearl every day, by the way. She's that emotional every day. So every day there's almost tears every day. But it means everything to me, and Pearl and I have a non-judgmental relationship, and we inspire each other, we encourage each other, we hype each other up, we look at each other before we leave the house, we're like, babe, you look amazing. So that's the kind of relationship we have. But we also laugh a lot. It's a sisterhood.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the value of being in a tribe of powerful women. Well, we've got an exciting competition with Huawei and MTN, and we'll tell you more about it later on in the show. So stay with us as we speak to the director of Huawei South Africa a little bit later on and tell you how you can be a part of Real Talk Moments.
Each week for 10 weeks, we're giving away the latest Huawei P20 Pro and 10 gigabytes once-off MTN data to 10 amazing storytellers. All you have to do is share your special moments with us. Follow at HuaweiZA and at MTNza and tag us with hashtag Huawei P20 and hashtag Real Talk Moments. We want to see and hear your stories and create lasting connections across the country. Each week there's a different theme, so keep checking our social pages for details and you could be a winner.
Welcome back to Real Talk right here on SABC3, where the stage is yours. I'm still in conversation with DJ Zinhle and Nokubonga Mbanga, and we're reflecting on the really empowering message that they share through their co-authored book, Meeting Your Power, Returning Home to Yourself. You can give us a call and an SMS via WhatsApp, and we'll ask the ladies to assist wherever they can. So let's go straight to that voice note. Here's another one.
Hi, my name is Amanda. I am enjoying the show. The question for me is, why is it that women have to go through pain before they can feel empowered? You know, does it always have to, do you always have to have a terrible background before you can get to a happy place or to get some sort of power, you know, like abuse and all of that?
So what are your thoughts on that? Because seemingly that's the narrative, that's the constant story, you know, and that's why we have things like strong women, super women, you know.
I suppose there's no right or wrong way to be able to get to a space where you need to be. It's just the way of looking at what you do with the plate that you're handed with.
Yeah.
As in, what do you do with pain? Do you allow pain to last longer? Or is it pain about that moment, that event, and focusing on how do I allow myself to experience light again? But I think sometimes we as women, what tend to do is to make that period longer.
Nurture the pain.
And nurture the pain and
Breastfeed it, grow it.
yes, you know, and keep rebirthing the pain, because when you think about that event, about that moment, the following day, that means you are reliving the experience. And we tend to do that as women because I suppose we have hearts, we feel. So there's no right or wrong way. I don't know why we sometimes go through that to get to a space where we experience our power. But I think for me is what we do with our experiences. If I think about our growing up, having gone through that whole pain, someone asked me, so do you have a plan to avenge yourself? To those people who told you have elephant legs. I said, well, I didn't think about, you know, doing something for them, because it's about me becoming comfortable with myself, learning to love my body again.
In spite of all of that, in spite of it, you know?
Yeah.
So I imagine that the work that you do, Nokubonga, is incredibly rewarding, you know, because it's about transformation. But what's the most challenging thing? Because it's about transformation, it's about moving and giving someone the tools to move from one place to another.
I think the most challenging thing is when the client perhaps doesn't see their power, or when the client assumes that coaching is about me giving them a magic pill. That's the more stressful part for me, but it's very rewarding in terms of seeing the client suddenly realizing what's in the mirror is beautiful, is powerful, is a very intelligent woman who can create anything that they want to create in their lives.
Well, we have another voice note, so take a listen and let's see how you can intervene in light of the self-work that you've both done.
Hi, my name is Khomolemo. I'm a mother now of a 2-month-old baby. So, like, I would like to know, since, well, I'm a mother now, I'm a single mother, like, how do I be strong for my child since, well, me and her dad, we're no longer together? Like, how do I be strong for her? Like, how do I cooperate? How do I make things work? Because sometimes I realize that when I have stress, hey, I take it all out to my daughter. Like, what do I do?
A big question, what do I do? You're both mothers.
Yes.
You have 4 children, Nokubonga.
Yes. Do you want to start? Or
You
should I
can
start? As I was listening to her, I was already almost about to hear exactly what's going to come next in terms of how do I take care of myself to take care of my baby. And the thing is, Azania, that the child needs you first. So Sisi, it's about building yourself first, because your child can pick up what's going on. Because our children don't only listen to what we say, but they embody what we do. So it is about picking yourself up. And it might sound like it's easy, but all I'm saying is that there's going to be moments where you feel like you can't stand. At least sit and continue to build yourself up. It is, obviously, I don't know the details of why you feel down, but other than the father of your child having left you, it is really about saying, let me find hope.
Yeah, Martin Luther King Jr. actually says, if you can't walk, then crawl. If you can't run, then walk. But ultimately, just keep moving. Keep moving. But Zinhle, it's interesting that she raises that, because you've also been through a phase where things were overwhelming. And yet you had this child to look after. What was your strategy?
So I'll tell you a short story. So, so when Cairo was young, very small, I don't know if it's young or small, and she must have been the same age, 2 months old or something, and she was in her pram. and I was going to take a bath, and I saw her face, and then I was going through this, like this emotions, I was in pain, and I looked at Cairo and I said, Cairo, Daddy is gone, and I was crying, right? And Cairo looked at me as if to say, look around you, mommy, like look at everything else. So pain has a way of blinding us to everything else that is amazing. So she has a healthy baby. She has, I think that's enough. You know, she has a healthy baby, she's healthy, she can take care of a child. Yes, there are circumstances that are not amazing right now, but we tend to now focus on this dark place and we forget everything else that's a blessing. And this is why we talk about gratitude in the book, because we're saying we know that things are not going okay, but don't let that blind you to everything else that is amazing in your life. So Kara looked at me as if to say, Mommy, look around you.
Yeah.
You have a job, I'm here, I'm healthy, you are a beautiful person, you're a beautiful woman. Focus on all those beautiful things and then fix all the other parts that are not amazing. So let's not, I'm not saying it's not okay for her to experience the pain, but I need her to start also celebrating the things that are good about her life.
That are going well.
She has a baby there. I've got a friend who can't even have a baby, who'd give anything to have a child. So let's look around, also just recognize the blessings. And there's pain, yes, but let's also not forget all the blessings that are happening at the same time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And these aren't the only things that you touch on in the book. You talk about managing fear, you talk about the comparison trap, and also just being mindful of the kind of people that you have around you. Incredibly empowering topics. Well, Meeting Your Power, a self-help book aimed at helping women become the better version of themselves by DJ Zinhle and Nokubonga Mbanga, reminds us that the power lies within all of us and that our journey to empowerment begins solely with yourself. When we return, we wrap up our chat with both these powerful ladies that are simply giving us boss lady inspiration all the way. And you're with us here on SABC3, where the stage is yours. We'll be right back.
I go to her a lot to seek advice, to seek validation. Everyone needs to be validated. And I think if anything, you are lucky if you have someone like her in your corner to validate you. Because there's so much comfort with being validated by someone so still and so present, you know, so together. I'm really proud of her for how far she's come. With all the challenges that she's faced, but also all the challenges that she's overcome. And she has proven that it is possible to be a strong-headed single mother and be fabulous while doing it. I just want to wish you nothing but the best, my love. You have been an amazing friend, and I thank you for that. I truly value our friendship. I am super proud of you for what you have done. I am also super proud of you for releasing your book, Meet Your Power. I would like to prompt all the viewers to go out there and get this book. Thank you so much.
Welcome back. It's just a couple of more minutes till we wrap up our chat with DJ Zinhle and Nokubonga Mbanga. Meeting Your Power, Returning Home to Yourself is the title of the book, and we're giving away 2 signed copies to any 2 lucky Real Talk viewers. All you have to do to stand a chance and get your hands on the copy of the book is follow @RealTalk3 on our Twitter platform. Ladies, there's still so much to unpack. One of the things that I think is so important that you covered in the book is the comparison trap. Zinhle, I don't know how you avoid that, because this industry that we work in is quite competitive.
Very competitive.
When you have to get bookings, you'll be compared to other female DJs. For you to get these brand endorsements, you'll be compared to other celebrities. So how do you avoid the comparison trap?
I think in the beginning, I was definitely caught in the trap, and it's just a never-ending thing. It's a spiral. It's a spiral, yeah. And I think what saved me was being a DJ. It removed me a little bit from, you know, this it girl, this, I don't know, celebrity life, because I could just focus on me being a DJ, being appreciated at the club and doing what I do. But then somehow you get pulled into this thing, and what people do is they compare. I mean, they still do it. They'll compare you to Azania, they'll compare you to Bongi, they'll compare you to other people. And I remember thinking, what does it do for me when they compare me to these people? Does it most of the time it makes me feel inadequate.
Yes.
So rather, let me not even pay attention to these things. Let me rather focus on the things that I can do and just be happy for what other people can do with their lives. And we spoke about this, Pearl and I was driving and I was on the phone, a Bluetooth situation with Pearl, and someone drove into my lane. I said, babe, these people that drive into other people's lanes, now it's a problem because now we are both stuck on the wrong, you know, just stay
in your lane.
And we were like,
Stay
this is
in
what
your
they
lane.
mean when they say stay in your lane, because it can cause so much disruption when you move a lane, because now you're focusing on someone else's hustle, you're focusing on someone else's blessings.
You even lose track of your own hustle.
You lose track of your own, and you rob the world of your own greatness because you're no longer focusing on what you can give the world, but you're focusing on what other people are giving the world, and you're trying to duplicate that, and that's not how it works.
Right.
Yeah.
Nogwanga, you also unpack this, looking at some of the messages, the things, the comparisons that were made, things like the neighbor's daughter just got married, when are you getting married? You know, you even have a long list of all the comparisons that you grew up hearing. But they actually have serious consequences on how we feel about ourselves, the level of how empowered we feel about ourselves.
Of course, you do feel less off if you are compared to the neighbor's daughter that just got married and no one is knocking on the door for you. But I think for me, from my own journey, personally, having gone through the comparison trap, and one way of seeing it is when you experience the green monster, that, hold on, why am I now jealous of what's happening in Zinhle's life or Azania's life? What's going on? And I think for me, what was powerful about that moment is when I realized that I'm no longer living in my own space. I am now consumed by Zinhle's agenda. The thing is about comparison trap, you stay away from your own life and you don't even realize it. You keep looking, and for me it was about, I didn't want to be an exec. Why am I hung up on now others being exec? That's not how I want my life to be. And the moment you ask those questions, that's when you start going back to yourself to say, by the way, what was my life about? What did I want to do? And when I started to do that, to ask those deeper questions, that's when I went back to my own space, to my own power.
Right. Well, I think we've just touched on, literally on the surface of how immersed you are in making sure that other women are empowered through the book that you've written. And I hope that they get their hands on it and get the message that you've intended for them to get. But before I let you go, Zinhle, what are you working on? Word has it
I'm working
that
on
there is an album in the pipeline, working with the Skido.
Someone said Zinhle's working on everything but the
But music.
Don't do that. So I'm working on an album with Oskido. So I'm in studio with Oskido. It's very tricky. It's a tough process, but it's also a fun process. And I'm excited about what's going to come out of.
Gosh, it's been a long time.
It's not.
Can
that
you get
long.
there already?
It's
only been a long time.
I mean, it's not that long. The last time I released an album was only in 2009.
Good things are worth the wait, I guess. So congratulations on the recent endorsement. You are flying.
Thank you so
and
much.
congratulations on the book.
Thank you
We're
so
adding
much.
author.
Yeah,
to all
well,
the
that's not
accolades.
what we were going for, but we're here now, so we'll
Yes, to
celebrate
empower
that too.
others.
Thank you.
And what is lovely is that you've gone back to your blog, Moments by Zinhle.
Yeah.
And I think that's an incredible
Thank you so
resource to
much.
go along with the book.
Thank you. I
Congratulations
appreciate
to
that.
both of you.
Thank you.
Well, after the break, we chat to Huawei and MTN as they let us in on some exciting news that we can be expecting from this unique campaign and collaboration. And just to entice you a little bit, Real Talk, in association with Huawei and MTN, will be giving away 10 Huawei P20s and 10 gig once-off MTN data over the next 10 weeks, in fact. And 10 of the country's best stories will be shared with you in coming weeks. So if you really think you've got what it takes, then head over to our social media pages to find out what's the weekly theme and upload #RealTalkMoment, and you could stand a chance to win. More about this amazing initiative after the break.
Each week for 10 weeks, we're giving away the latest Huawei P20 Pro and 10 gigabytes once-off MTN data to 10 amazing storytellers. All you have to do is share your special moments with us. Follow at HuaweiZA and at MTNza and tag us with #HuaweiP20 and #RealTalkMoments. We want to see and hear your stories and create lasting connections across the country. Each week there's a different theme, so keep checking our social pages for details and you could be a winner.
Hashtag Real Talk Moments, a creative campaign in collaboration with Huawei and MTN, brings together a very exciting campaign that's going to create lasting connections across the country. Over the next couple of weeks, you'll be seeing a couple of competitions that I know are going to interest you. So joining me to chat about this exciting initiative and collaboration, I've got Huawei's Marketing Director, Akram Mohammed, as well as the General Manager for Brand Communications at MTN South Africa, and that's Helen Christoforu. Welcome, I'm so thrilled. I'm so excited about this collaboration. We need to tell everybody what it's about because they can be a part of it. Not only are we giving away prizes, but we also get to tell fantastic stories. So what is the message behind this collaboration, Akram?
I think we just wanted to get across to everyone out there that it's more than just about technology.
Yeah.
You know, technology is used by real people. And the inspirations and the stories behind that, the important moments where we use technology. If you look at a mobile phone, it's the one electronic device we have with us in our possession all the time.
Yeah.
We basically document our lives on it. So capturing those special moments, those unique moments, is what we want to put out there and we want to talk about. So this is what this campaign is all about.
And where's the value for you as MTN, Helen?
Well, you know, for us, we're all about making our customers' lives brighter. We are the HuaweiZA network, and it's about network capabilities. So when you partner up with Huawei and the P20, we get to demonstrate that in a very real way. So capturing moments that last a lifetime, connecting people across borders, and making sure that moments are lasting for people is actually what we do. So we're very proud to be in association with Huawei on this project. And yeah, they're not just stories, they're hashtag real talk stories.
Absolutely, and I think it speaks so much to what this show is about as well. Because as South Africans, we're bridging that divide, we're learning each other, and technology does allow that. But what's the technology behind these gadgets? Tell me about that.
Well, I think
capabilities.
I think it's not just the technology. You know, the technology is important, but it's an enabler to so much more.
Yeah.
You know, it's exactly, you know, Huawei, the inspiration. How do we innovate? How do we keep innovating? Otherwise, we're just another tech company. Everybody does more or less the same thing. So we look at the technology or the hardware aspect and we say, what is the inspiration behind it? And we want to be able to say the inspiration comes from creativity, creating, capturing, sharing. And that's what we all do. I mean, if you look at yourself and we put ourselves in a similar situation, we share moments of graduation. You know, when you have your first child or the first time your kid takes that walk, those are the important things in life that you want to be able to document. Or you have a loved one that you want to keep a memory of for a very, very long time. And we could perhaps forget what happened just yesterday. But when you open up that picture, and you have a look at it and it brings back all those memories, those special moments. That's what we want to get involved in, and that's what inspires the tech that we create.
Absolutely.
And I think that's where the technology comes in.
Absolutely. Yeah. So over the next couple of weeks, we're going to see Yanez bringing us these stories using this technology. So I absolutely can't wait. What is the call to action? What are we asking people to do?
Well, you know, for us in this one, it's the reason we're involved in this and the reason we're excited about all of this is because, as your previous guest said, it's about the blessing that you have and the blessing that you can be to someone else. And one person's story is just so heartwarming. Yeah. And it's the small things that you can do to contribute to someone else's moment that will last a lifetime. Yeah. And that's why we're involved. And the call to action here, and we'll go into a little later, is literally about sharing your story. And getting involved from that perspective.
It's going to be an emotive campaign.
It very much
you're
is.
Ready.
Very, very
It's going to be so emotional because we have so many ordinary people in this country living absolutely extraordinary lives.
Absolutely.
And this is going to be the platform to share it with the rest of the country on. Definitely. So I'm extremely excited. The first one starts next week. And of course, our viewers have an opportunity to win and get the Huawei in their hands, the P20 in their hands. 10 exactly to give away.
10, that's correct. The P20, by the way, being rated the best device in terms of camera in its class. So, yes, you could grab yourself 10 of those over the next 10 weeks.
TV quality videos is what we can expect?
Oh, most certainly. Well, we shot our TV commercial on the device, so most definitely. Yes.
Fantastic. Thank you so much to both of you. Thank you. I'm really looking forward to the next couple of weeks.
Thank you for having us.
Well, a big thank you to you as well as my guests. We had earlier on the Queen of the Decks, DJ Zinhle, as well as leadership coach and facilitator Nokubonga Mbanga. And of course, thank you for tuning in. It's been informative, and more importantly, it's been real. So be sure to catch the new exciting Huawei P20 Pro competition inserts right here from the 26th of June. Let's do this again tomorrow right here on SABC3, where the stage is yours. From me, Azania, and the rest of the Real Talk team, it's good night.